This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
Will.
And I'm John.
John, why don't you tell everybody about your channel? If they didn't hear about it on Monday, they'll hear about it today.
Yeah, no, my channel is, I'm a musician. I live in Portland. I have a band music project called Fort Atlantic. And on my YouTube channel, you can find music videos and other nonsense, vlogs, things like that. It's just another place for me to kind of have fun and make things and share whatever I can do. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I've had a lot of fun making cool videos, and yeah, YouTube's been a wild ride for me, and fortunately had songs on TV, and that's really pushed a lot of stuff to the YouTube channel. So I felt really, really fortunate.
Yeah. And if you've ever seen, do I need to say it? How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
You've probably heard his music before.
Yes.
So just going to leave it right there. We'll talk about that more on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, we're going to be having a contest to give away one of his latest CD to one lucky viewer. Give you more details on Wednesday. Today is Tuber Tuesday. So we're not going to be talking about Travis Scott again. We already did that on Monday. Go check that out if you haven't already. We're going to be checking out a channel called, I'm going to say this wrong, Chad the Gaming Dad. There we go. I almost said
Nice
it wrong.
rhyme there.
Yeah, I know. It's because he's a dad. He gets it.
Yeah, good thing his name is Chad. It's
Yeah.
not like Bob or something.
Bob.
Yeah. Or, I mean, it could be Bob the Gaming Blob. That would be kind of
There you
funny.
go. Bob the gaming knob. I don't know. So anyways, dude's got 1.8 thousand, so 1,800 subscribers essentially. He created his channel on October 28th, 2014. He currently has 311,749 views, and after I click one of his videos, he'll be up to 750 on the end of that. If you want to go check out his channel, I don't think he has a custom URL, but I honestly didn't. I should have looked a little harder. I couldn't find one anywhere on his social media, so I wasn't sure what to test. But what he is known for, his description here says, Chad the Gaming Dad. This channel is dedicated to all the grown-ups that will never outgrow video games. That's definitely what his channel is about, because he's obviously a grown-up, a dad, who still plays video games. But some highlights of his channel. He does video game reviews from a dad's perspective. He does console reviews from a dad's perspective. He determines whether a video game is worth your time, since most of you parents out there have limited time. And he's pretty down to earth, pretty relatable with YouTube introspective content, as well as just entertainment and commentary. So that's kind of an overview of his channel. And John, I'm not sure if you've seen one of these Tuber Tuesdays, but we always go through and look at the first video they put out and then their most popular video, just to give people an idea of what kind of content they have. So his first video he did was a video about the Alien Isolation DLC titled Corporate Lockdown. And it was a series he started calling Quick Look, where he was kind of giving a preview of something that people may want to go buy. So this is kind of his commentary, his quick look at Alien Isolation DLC Corporate Lockdown. Considering it's a game...
Sort of like the buy, like, rent it, or whatever, however that goes. Like, don't buy, pick it up.
Yeah,
like
it's similar to that. Yeah, of course, I don't think he was quite at that stage where he was doing the fun or run, which is what he called his series later on. But considering this is a game that never really interested me a whole lot, I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch the whole video.
This game is great, though.
Is it? Okay.
It is. If you like the Alien franchise, it's really good.
I like the franchise, but I've never been interested in most of the games, to be totally honest with you.
I haven't either, but this one freaked me out.
So his most popular video, I was kind of surprised by this, because not surprised that it's a good video because it's a really good video, but surprised that he ended up covering this, because his channel doesn't appear to be the type of channel to cover this. It was like a commentary on which version of the NES, like this emulator, Raspberry Pi emulator, the NES Mini or the original NES, has the best quality picture for playing these old games. It seemed kind of out of place given the content he's been putting out more recently, but I looked back and he has several videos similar to this. And this type of video would be a lot of work, I have to imagine, because you have to record the same gameplay on each console and capture that and then edit it all together. Just thinking about it makes me, want to just log off and stop doing YouTube, because I wouldn't be able to do this right now with the amount of time I have. I'm surprised that he was able to put something like this out, although maybe he spent a long time on it. I really don't know. But it's a good video, and it really gives you the highlights of each version of the NES and playing this game. in each different fashion. You know, the emulator, Raspberry Pi, the original NES, NES Mini. Is at some point in time he actually shows you all four, so you can see the color and see how different the colors show up on these different games. Like you see the flashing. They actually took that out in the NES Classic to prevent people with epilepsy from having a seizure. Smart on Nintendo's move, but that type of thing. So he was kind of comparing all those different stuff in a video, and it is really well done, I will say. I really liked it.
I saw that video and I really enjoyed it, and I have to say I didn't think that there was going to be much of a difference, but when you look at it, the Raspberry Pi is like really crisp and deeper colors, and I don't know. And I have an NES Classic Mini one, whatever it's called, and I love it, and my son loves it, and we play it. And but yeah, I kind of want a Raspberry Pi now.
They're nice because if you can acquire the ROMs for the games to play on the Raspberry Pi,
no idea how to do that
through a legal avenue, like downloading the games you own from the cartridges.
Right, yeah.
It is the best method. I'm not gonna.
I own a lot. I own a lot of them.
I believe you. Here we go. So what we want to talk about now is what are some things we really enjoy about Chad the Gaming Dad's channel. Will, do you want to go first, or do you want to go first, John?
I think John should go first because I think he has some comments.
You know what I think I really appreciate about it is the fact that he understands the time is the biggest deal for parents that want a game, because when you have a child, your time is no longer yours. Whether it's as wonderful and as beautiful as being a father is, it's the greatest thing I've ever done. That I don't have much time, and so when I am playing games, I don't want to waste my time on something that's that I'm just going to be bummed about. So he does that. I love his idea of the funner run. The thing is when he did the Doom Eternal, I think it was Doom 64. I don't remember which one he was just recently did for Doom, but he essentially was like, "This is a fun game except the platforming," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that would ruin it for me." So like, thank you, Chad, because I had considered. I love the Doom franchise. I love Wolfenstein. I love what Bethesda's doing with all the new stuff. But yeah, so like I love that idea, and he takes it from a perspective of he understands, like he gets me. But and the other thing I enjoyed was that there was a video. I kind of have a beef with him because this is going to hurt my wallet mainly. Is that his latest video is one about him building the 1-Up arcade machine. I had no idea that was even something you could order. And so like I spent last night looking at this going, I think I could, trying to justify getting the table, the head-to-head like tabletop Pac-Man that I've always wanted. I was like, I can put it together, and but he incorporated his kids helping him build that and going to arcades and stuff. So like I love it, but I am a little bummed about the fact that I'm gonna now have to spend a lot of money and also have to explain to my wife why I'm building an arcade in my basement.
See,
so yeah, I liked it. I thought it was great, and I think it's really cool. I think it makes me happy to see someone doing something like that. There it is. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, this video is pretty cool. I would love to have one of these in my basement, but I could never justify this to my wife. She would never ever buy that this was a good idea for me to get.
Well, Chris, it could be a gift from me.
Yeah, well, why is all this money missing from the account, huh? No.
I don't know.
What I feel very fortunate about is I have kind of a separate music and business account that I can write off a lot of things, and so like this is one of those.
Just incorporate it into a music video.
Yeah, I need it as a prop.
Yeah, or it helps with the creative process.
It really does. I actually agree. I do believe that, but.
Oh man. So Will, what did you think looking at this channel?
Very similar things. I like the overall concept of videos, and although I'm not a dad, I have limited time. And a lot of times when you listen to people review games, I just don't think they realize that there are very few people who actually can just do video games all the time. So, you just go like the completionist. It's like, I don't have time to play any of the games that he recommends. It's like, where's like my 1 hour game that I can put in like every once in a while? And it's like, video, like people like this, like actually like take time into consideration is very far and few between. And I appreciate that. and even though it's not really necessarily meant for me because I'm not a dad. Do you want me to jump into what I don't like yet?
It's I got to go too, Will. Come on, man.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right, so I do like it. I like how he edits it. I like this actually, I like that a lot when how he incorporates his kid there. But as far as his videos look very clean, I don't like the fact some of his older videos don't have the same intro. I think he should go back and change that because it says like Dad's Games instead of like the banner that he has now. And I think that's slightly confusing how he changes it. But other than that, I think his videos are pretty good.
Do you know that if you change the intro, Will, it's basically a brand new video when you re-upload it to YouTube, so it actually hurts his channel overall to do that.
You know, Chris, I'm just giving my suggestions.
I'm just letting you know. I mean,
there's no right or wrong answer here, okay, Chris?
You used to be able to replace videos on YouTube, and you used to, but not anymore.
Yeah, I'm aware of that time because I used to have channels at that time, and I used to do that kind of stuff all the time. I was like, it was beautiful, and now YouTube's like, nope, we're not very friendly to you trying to fix this.
Yeah.
I wonder like what the perspective from YouTube is. Like, why did they change that?
Probably because there's a lot of bait and switch going on. I mean, more than less. You know, like, hey, we got 1 million views on this, and then you can sell that to, like, it's like selling an Instagram account. Like, you know, it probably just money they weren't earning, to be honest.
Yeah, it is a problem because people used to get these viral videos and sell the accounts, and then they replace that viral video with something else. It's exactly what you're saying. But they still allow you to trim things out. So yeah. That's nice. I'm glad they left the trimming aspect because I've had to use that several times when I realized after a video went live that I said something really stupid, and I was like, okay, that's got to go.
Chris keeps in my stupid comments, though. He'll take out his.
That's because people don't rage over your stupid comments. I actually got a bunch of people raging about something I said about an Age of Empires game a while back, and I was like,
yes, he did. Yeah, they were so pissed at you.
I got the whole Reddit account messed up. Anyways, so what I appreciate about Chad the Gaming Dad is I really appreciate that he incorporates handing down old consoles when he buys new consoles to the kids, because that's an idea I never thought about doing, to get a refreshed version of a console and justifying it with the wife and kids. That's a great idea.
I can see the wheels turning in your head, Chris.
But he got when he got the brand new 3DS XL, he compared it to the old 3DS XL, and he talked about how as a dad, all these little gripes he had with the first model and how Nintendo vastly improved the new 3DS to take care of those gripes. And he went feature by feature and explained why he didn't like the original feature. But then he also said, you know what, but if you can still get this console for like $50, don't go buy the brand new one. You're gaming on a budget. You're a dad. Don't go buy this brand new shiny console unless you want it, you know? And that's another thing I think a lot of reviewers are missing out on. It's like, just because it's a good $60 game doesn't mean everybody's ready to go drop $60 on a brand new game. Every day of the week, especially because what's nice about a lot of the YouTubers that I do watch, though, is they're focused on one genre. So when they recommend a game, it's like once every time one of those games release, like a Halo release, it's like, okay, is this worth it or not? And they only release a Halo game, every like 5 years at this point?
At this point, yeah. There was a couple of years that it was every year.
Yeah. Let's be honest, whatever they release with Halo, I'm just going to buy. It doesn't matter.
And then I'm going to hate it.
But I do really appreciate his perspective on things. Like, he's talking about, okay, so when I hand this console down with all these gripes, it doesn't affect my daughter because she's got different size hands than I do. And I was like, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Like, this 3DS, while I might be bumping buttons and clicking things with my palm while I'm playing because my hands are pretty big, my kid won't because his hands are small, or her hands are small, depending on what your child's gender is or whatever. It doesn't matter to them because they're just playing a game. And at the end of the day, us being upset about the sound going up and down while we're playing probably doesn't matter to a child. Like, I really wanted Duel of the Fates to be in and out while I'm playing Star Wars on my 3DS. That really sounds great when Duel of the Fates is like, woo, woo. So they moved the volume marker. I was like, wow, that's something I hadn't even thought about. But I actually own the new one. I don't own the old one. So I was just happy to hear I got the right model. So now we're going to move on to some things that we think he could improve, or, critiques of his channel. Some things that maybe not perfect, that kind of thing. So why don't we have John go first? He was raring to go.
Well, the big thing was my wallet and the one up arcade machine. But I would love to see him be a little bit more consistent, and that is also a very very easy thing for me to say, who doesn't make YouTube videos that much, like, and as a dad. So I wish he could be more consistent. Maybe that would be the way I could say it. But I totally, Chad, I understand. I feel you, bro. I feel you, man.
That being said, did you subscribe?
No, I need to right now, actually. I even thought about that last night. I was like, oh, I need to subscribe to this guy. I truly enjoyed his videos, and they're really well done. And but I just wish he could be more consistent. But I get it. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus for that.
When YouTube's not your main job, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then when YouTube becomes your main job, then you become one of these ivory tower video game journalists who has all day to play Animal Crossing. So
there you go. Yeah, I want to see the completionist complete Animal Crossing. I bet it's not possible. All right, Will, what do you got?
So, I mean, I echo all those points, and I think the only other thing that I would say is I would like to see like an entire series of like, what game should I hand down to my kids? Like, what game should I start them off with, and what console should I start them off with? I mean, we have like, we represent this entire generation of kids that grew up with games, and we're handing them off to our children now. Whereas like my parents and my dad, he never played games, and every time he sits down and looks at it, he's like, this makes me dizzy. How do you play this? So, I mean, and he taught me how to play baseball. So like, what games should I teach my kids to play, other than just Halo?
Which is the
other thing he could mention about in this series is also when it's okay to finally let the governor off in Mario Kart and let your son know who's the boss, because I have to wait a full lap before I can even start now.
So the funny thing is, if it was my dad, he would just beat me every single time. He would never let me win. So like, if we played checkers or chess or anything, he always beat me, and he's like, "This is a life lesson. You got to get better. Nothing will be handed to you."
This is the thing during this whole what we're in right now. This kind of staying at home. But what my wife has become, we do a Mario Kart night after bath, like and she doesn't hold back, and I'm like, I can't. She's just, I'm jealous. Anyway, I digress.
My dad wouldn't have let up either. He even, so we let him play easy mode on Guitar Hero, and he would beat our butt, even though we were playing on expert and he was playing on easy. He would let us know, like, I beat you. Anyway, so what I think that Chad the Gaming Dad should really do with his channel, I think it would be cool to see some more of his introspective on gaming as a dad videos. I actually really appreciated his "What if video games never existed" video. I thought that was a really cool take on his life with video games and what it has been as far as impacting his life, and what he would be doing if he wasn't, right? Like, he's a creative type of guy. Who knows what he would have done otherwise? And then I think that's a cool series to do. Like, my life as a gaming dad, like, my kids brought this up to me the other day or something like that. Like, I've been playing this game and my kids are like, well, what if this or what if that? And as a dad, you're like, oh, I didn't even think of that, like, and then he can do a video on that. I don't know. I just think the introspective videos are cool, and it could maybe subsidize his time when he's not doing these other type, more long form let's play / review type videos. Do an introspective video once a week. It's probably a lot easier to do other than the prep. Because it's just a one shot into the camera, tell everybody how you feel about something. I've learned that commentary, where you're not actually having to necessarily do all the artistic stuff behind it, like all the editing that we don't have to do anymore because we do this podcast. It's real easy to put out that content as long as you have something to talk about. And that might be something to supplement his channel with. I really appreciated that video. So
I was actually really inspired by his video to consider, when I do get the YouTube stuff kind of back on the treadmill, like, how can I incorporate gaming as a dad as well? So, it was inspiring to me to see him doing that.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add? Anybody else got anything on that?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So what are our predictions for his channel going forward?
I think it's a passion project, and it's gonna continue to grow. I don't know if it would explode or anything either, because who knows what YouTube is thinking about anything ever. But I think what you can see is that he does this because he loves it. It's not something that he's like, trying to make a career. This is something that he loves, and so whether or not it explodes or it doesn't explode, I think he's going to just keep going because he enjoys it.
What about you, Will? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree as well. But I think he has a really interesting concept here. And as more and more of our generation has kids, they're going to be looking for content like this, or this content will be interesting to them. And I think he's just going to grow. I don't know if there's other people who are like this, who try to give like a dad's perspective. At least this is new for me. I didn't even think about this until Chris recommended this guy to me. I'm like, oh, this is genius.
Yeah.
All right, I have a little secret to tell then.
Okay.
When I messaged John originally about setting up this podcast, and I asked him, "Hey, what we usually do a Tuber Tuesday segment? What do you think? What do you want to see for us to review?" And he goes, "I need a gaming channel about dads."
Yeah.
And I scoured YouTube for like probably 3 hours to find Chad.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This guy is awesome."
Yeah. I'm glad he's out there letting us know, let me know I'm not alone.
I didn't think it would be that hard to find, but it actually is. Like, Chad, you are doing it right. I love your channel. I predict you'll hit 2,000 subs at least by the end of this year.
I'm about to go right now.
Did you hear that? You got another sub, okay? Right now.
Mm-hmm.
We got John convinced, and we subbed already. I think we were the ones that brought you to 1.8 from the 1.79 when I originally looked at your channel. So you're welcome. And I hope
You're welcome.
I hope at least 50 of our subs will make the plunge and also sub to your channel. So that'd be cool. So challenge to all my subs, go sub to this guy. He's cool. If you're a dad out there, definitely do it. Final thoughts. Anybody got anything else to say?
Nope.
I would change the color on his banner to something more vibrant, but that's just personal.
As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm John.
And we will see
Make
you.
it red. See you later.